Hey guys, my name's Adam, and welcome back to the Audi Garage. I know you guys probably haven't seen me in a while, a lot's changed, a lot's been going on, but I'm going to give it a try and start the videos again because I know how much you guys liked seeing all the Audi and 2.7T stuff that I do in my shop. So first things first, I'll give you guys a look. We have moved into a new place. So as you can see behind me, we now have a 2,800 square foot shop. I share it with a good friend of mine, Bo, who runs Ontario Fender Roll. So he does a lot of the fitment and low car stuff, and then I do the Audi and performance stuff. So as you can see, a quick tour of the shop. We have a storage room in there, which will eventually be turned into a powder coating area because it's nice and sealed. Of course, we've got our washrooms and stuff. We have a fabrication area here. You can see a small size oven in progress. We have our our office located in that corner. And then I have kind of this corner of the shop with all the 2.7s in progress. You can see a couple of builds going on. And then Bo has a L-shaped section. I am kind of encroaching on a little bit more space, but because Bo's so nice, he doesn't get too mad at me. As you can see right now in the shop, we have actually one of my cars. I recently bought this one. Me and Christian from Dominate Performance are going to be doing a bunch of testing on that. He did get something really cool installed at his new shop as well, which hopefully you'll see in a future video. Then over here we have an A4 with some pretty crazy fitment. And nothing yet in the engine bay. But in behind, we do have this guy that's going in. So this is just going to be a, I guess, run-of-the-mill V8 swap. We also have all S4 goodies, including brakes, and I have a front bumper and skirts and all that good stuff to go in this car as well. And then we have this Amoli yellow car, which was stage 3'd, had lots of problems, pretty much falling apart in terms of the engine, steering rack, and clutch all had issues. So that is actually one of these 3 engines over here. It's this guy. He's kind of last in line right now. Just working on buttoning up some of the timing and prepping everything to get powder coated. It's been cleaned up and washed as per standard with the builds. This guy's going into a B6. It'll be KO4 swapped. This is a K24 swapped. So this one, again, we have the typical powder coated backing plates. I have all the brackets that are in process as well. And this is another one for another car that's not here. This one's on hold currently. I'm not sure if we're continuing with it or if the customer is coming back to pick it up. But this one has some RS6 hybrids done in a really cool Nagaro blue color scheme that matches the interior of the car. The customer did a super good job of matching that in the first try. As you can see, the inlets were all powder coated in a nice Cadillac gunmetal gray, as well as the lower intercooler pipes, and also the snub mount. On this engine too, you can see it's got our new stainless hardware kit that comes with all those nice pieces. That's available on the web store as well. And I started making my own block-off plates that sit nicely in there and have a little bit of a bigger lip than the ones available currently. So it kind of protects in that area a little bit better. I might put those up for sale soon on the website as well. The bolt kit also includes stainless hardware for the valve covers, which is pretty cool. We also have some cool things incoming from the B6 KO4 car that you guys saw me build on the channel. This is an O1E swap. We have some JHM goodies for that. If you follow my Instagram, you would have seen some of that stuff. So guys, don't forget to check out the social media pages and the web stores and all that good stuff for updates that you won't see. As you can see, we've got a good collection of turbos on the bench. Can give you guys some information when we're building the B6 one about some interesting stuff with exhaust housings that I found out. And maybe I'll show you some more in-depth close-ups of yet another spec clutch that bit the dust and some weird fitment issues on that. So today I'm going to do a little bit of work on these 2 engines here. So first I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to take out the secondary water pump. They're known to have failures, and I'm thinking about maybe taking some time and tucking some sensors up underneath the intake manifold. So I do have a bypass hose coming for that. So I'm going to remove that, as well as the water pump down here. I noticed it was weeping a little bit, so we're going to take that off and switch that up as well. So as you can see, it's just a pump that I'm dripping coolant everywhere with, and it's probably still okay, so I'm just going to save this just in case someone else needs it. So the 034 molded hose just does a nice little routing over here and connects back over here. Now, like I said, I'm going to remove the water pump on this, which requires you to move the power steering pump because there is one 10 mil hidden right underneath it. So when you guys do your timing belt kits, this is common where you move the power steering pump and this is just rock solid. And then that'll crack, let air into the supply, and you'll get a winding power steering pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you up, and I'll take this all apart and take the water pump off. The reason why, again, I'm taking it off is I noticed after the engine was sitting for a bit, there's actually some coolant that settled and came through here, so it's probably weeping through this freeze type expansion plug. And it's just better that we change it now instead of later, because that'll require us to take the timing belt off again. You can see there's lots of gasket and RTV left on the surface, so we'll have to go through and clean that off. And then order the new water pump, timing belt, and tensioner. The rollers still feel good and smooth. I think they were recently changed, so we've decided to leave those instead of doing the full kit. My buddy Alex just stopped by with his newly purchased V5 S4. It's almost like my original one, but no Nagaro interior. And we're actually just going to swap in some EGT deletes and heated downpipes, so we're going to go take it out for a rip. So we installed those EGT sensors, went for a drive, cleared the EGT codes. We just have rear O2 sensor codes because they're unplugged right now. We're not really going to worry about that for the time being. We did take it out and do a few light second gear pulls, and light throttle feels good. Wide open though, it does have a tear in the throttle body boot that we had kind of patched, but hopefully tomorrow we're actually getting some 034 boots in, and we'll swap that boot on and then take it for a drive and hopefully do some logs. It has a Gaiac stage 1 or 2 tune on it, so we'll see if that's doing good, no timing pull, see if it's reaching requested boost, and we'll show you that in the next video if everything goes well. I'll chuck in a video here quick of a few little revs we did outside in the parking lot. I think the audio is messed up because it's just, it was too loud and the camera was probably compensating too much. So it definitely sounds cool in person. It's a little bit too much. It is straight pipe right now, but he does have the single muffler that was cut out of that exhaust originally. It's an Excess Power Twin 1 exhaust. And remember, you guys can purchase that on the website, and send me a direct message if you do want a discount on any of that, or just for ease, you can just purchase it straight on the website. So I got the water pump off and cleaned up all the gasket area. I go over it with a razor blade and then an emery cloth to clean it up really nice. Tomorrow I'll order the timing belt kit, the water pump, and the thermostat, and we'll time the engine and get that going. I'll also order up the power steering hose, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. Right now I'm just waiting for a customer to come by. We're going to do a boost leak test on his car. His clutch switch isn't working, so that's probably just his switch, or hopefully not, but it could be a broken wire. And then just do a general check, and that car will be going later to get retuned by Christian at Dominate Performance. So it sounds like a cool car. It's a Saturn car with a Nagaro interior, just like my original one. So when he gets here, maybe I'll pick back up and we'll talk about what I find. So I just finished up with that customer that came by. Didn't really want to show much because unfortunately it wasn't the greatest of visit. It's something that's actually really been frustrating me the more and more I see this happen. So basically what it is someone will bring me a stage 3 car that just isn't running right or something's going on. So basically the first test after a quick look over their car is to do a boost leak test. And now 100% I've started looking at how the inlets are installed in the car even before I do the boost leak test. And then I can tell the customer even beforehand what's probably going to happen. So I'll give you guys a visual of what to look out for and what not to ever do when you build a stage 3 car. So as an example, here's a KO4 turbo, and as you can see, there's a groove for an O-ring. So on the RS4, basically they have inlets that are flared with tight tolerances where you'll put an O-ring there and slip over an inlet. Now, as you guys know, stuff that's made overseas isn't made to the greatest tolerances. And as you should also know, a rubber O-ring is a seal or a gasket that over time will fail. It will dry out or it will rip, especially under higher pressures and the heat of the engine bay. So shops that don't do these normally, or don't have quite the experience as I do with dealing with this, is they'll just take the inlet, and what I've seen before even is they'll just place it over the turbo without an O-ring, and it'll just be loose. Not as bad, but definitely still bad, is they'll use the O-ring and place the inlet all over it. At that point, you could do a boost leak test. If you guys go back to my B6 stage 3 build that I did, you can see that I had a one size O-ring, and then I went to the next one provided, and I was able to get a seal. That's good and well, and I'm luckily I always boost leak test the engines on the bench, or on the stand, sorry, before I put them in the car. So I was able to find that leak, and knock on wood, that car is still rock solid and has no issues, still boosts just like it did the day we put that engine in. The problem is though, is that if you do have a leak here, basically you have a massive vacuum leak. So right off the bat, you have unmetered air coming into the turbo and obviously going into your engine, and you're not adding fuel for that extra air. The other bad thing is that on a turbo car, under high boost, well, as high as the boost that you can get with it running so terribly, is this will actually draw in even more air because you have a low pressure area in front of the turbine wheel as it spins trying to suck in more air. So the more you boost, the more unmetered air you get in, the leaner the car can be. So please, everyone, stop doing this. Start doing only this. Cut the inlets, use a coupler. Please use a proper reducer coupler if you have oversized ones, or use a straight one if you have the smaller ones that match your inlet size. Make sure you heat wrap this area to keep it nice and cool and to slow down the degradation of this coupler. In the future, I'm working on getting out an inlet kit for you guys that everything will come pre-trimmed and mocked up with the proper high-quality multi-layer couplers, so you won't have to worry about any of those modifications needed on the one straight from eBay. Well guys, that's where I'm going to end today's video. I'm going to try to go day by day and just show you what I do. Some videos might be short, some videos might be long. Obviously there's a bunch of other stuff that I do that I'm not going to show you, like sitting on the computer and updating a web store. No one needs to see that. But like always, like the video if you liked it, subscribe, check out the website, check out Facebook, check out Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next one.